Do you think that the regime of Bashar al-Assad is intentionally targeting hospitals?
To me, it looks like it. I mean, I saw 7 hospitals. Each one of them were bombed several times. People in Aleppo believe that they are systematically targeted. The schools, the fruit markets, the hospitals. I visited an orphanage that is underground. I spoke with the children there. There were 40 children. And they were scared that they will have to eat grass and tree leaves and cat meat the same way that the children of Madaya had to suffer through. And unfortunately, their fear became a reality. I visited an eye center that is underground because there are many children and civilians who lost their eyes. And President Assad is an eye doctor, and they lost their eyes because of the shrapnels from barrel bombing. So definitely people feel that they are targeted. We're talking about civilians here. We're talking about school children. We're talking about hospitals. Doctors feel that they are targeted, and President Assad has a chance to stop all of that. You know, I mean, I appeal to the doctor inside him, to the medical student that I knew, you know, when I was in medical school. He can stop all of that by a phone call, by a strike, with a strike of a pen. He can stop the barrel bombing. I appeal to him to look at the eyes of the children who lost their life because of the barrel bombing. To Sama and Mahmoud, these are 2 children who suffocated to death a couple of days ago in Aleppo because of the chemical weapon. Why is he doing that? There's no winners in what's happening in Aleppo and in Syria.
If you can address
he can
him
be
directly,
a peacemaker.
Yeah, if you can address him directly right now, what would you say to your former classmate, someone you knew, you casually said hello to, you met 3 times after he became president? What would you say to him directly through the camera lens?
I will tell him that he swore the Hippocratic oath to do no harm, to save lives, even the lives of his enemies as a physician. He has the chance to do that. He can help many more children and patients and people in Syria as a president than if he were as a doctor. At one time, he told us that he would prefer to be a doctor. He has the chance to save many lives. He can be a peacemaker instead of being perceived as a war criminal. I appeal to the humanity inside him. He's a family man. He has children. And the children I've seen in Aleppo suffering because of what he's doing is something that is unimaginable.
I want to ask you one last question. Syrian physicians, a group of Syrian physicians, wrote a letter to Barack Obama, the American president. Do you feel that the United States and the international community as a whole, do you feel abandoned?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Every person in Syria I met, every doctor, every nurse feel that they were abandoned by the international community. I mean, we're talking about a city that has 2 million people, 1.5 million in western Aleppo, 300,000 in eastern Aleppo, all of them right now under siege, and they are exposed to bombing. Yes, President Obama has responsibility to stop what's happening. President Clinton at one time stopped what's happening in Bosnia, and President Obama can do the same. He has few more months in the office. His legacy will be tainted by what he did not do in Syria, protecting civilians and having access to people under siege. Yes, people in Syria feel that they are deserted, and the international community and President Obama in particular has the responsibility to stop this craziness in Syria, because what's happening in Syria is not only limited to Syria. It's affecting all of us. Orlando shooting and San Bernardino shooting and Nice massacre is because of what's happening in Aleppo. The same pictures that we are seeing of these children who are mutilated and bombed in Syria are used by ISIS and other extremist groups to recruit jihadists and extremists.